Hello there, you absolute legends. Emma McElhinney here with Piss Off Perimenopause and the musings of a bullshit queenager. I am here to ruin your misconceptions about perimenopause, fat loss, and kick midlife in the face. So if you think your 40s are a drag, think again. Because every week I am going to be stripping down the myths about perimenopause. I'm serving you raw, unfiltered truths about your health and smashing misconceptions about fat loss. And a whole lot more. So if you thought you knew midlife, you don't know the half of it. Aging is inevitable, but getting old is a choice. So buckle up, grab a glass of something yummy, and let's get to it. Hello, welcome to the next episode of Piss Off Perimenopause and the musings of a bullshit queenager. It is I, said bullshit queenager. Today we are talking about meal prep, and this actually came about in one of my group coaching calls. Every week in my client group, we have 2 weekly calls, one on a Tuesday, one on a Thursday, and we talk about everything and anything. We talk about eyeliner, we talk about your colours, we talk about meal prep, we talk about whatever questions anybody's got, talk about protein, we talk about all the things. But one of the things that came up a couple of weeks ago was time management when it comes to meal prep. And basically, most people don't plan in advance enough, right? And it's probably the biggest and easiest strategy to implement to get success in your weight loss goals. Now, you might have heard the phrase, proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And it's true. The most successful clients I have who reach their goals and it's easy and maintain their goals are the people that are organized. And the people that are organized are the people that plan ahead and prep in advance. Now, I'm not talking about prepping 3 meals a day for a full week. If that's something that you don't do already or do a little bit of, then that's going to be really hard. So I'm going to take you through some easy wins of things that you can do now, no matter where you are in your ability to meal prep or plan ahead. And I'm going to bust some myths and I'm going to get quite bullshit at some points too. So I hope you don't mind. So common objections to meal prepping. I don't have the time. Well, you do have the time because you've got to eat. And you normally would spend some time prepping your food at some point. Because if you're listening to this, chances are you're not somebody that is just bunging pizzas in the oven every single night for dinner. So chances are you are already doing some form of meal prep. You're just doing it on the day. Okay, so we do have time. And it's not as time consuming as you might think. And it's not as obstructive on your life as you might think. So if you're saying to yourself, I don't have time for this, I'm going to just say, suck it up, buttercup, because I'm going to tell you how you can make it part and parcel of your life. So for me, I haven't always meal prepped, but now every Sunday I meal prep, and you can do it in conjunction with other things. Okay, right, let's get started, right? The reason why meal prep work is because it reduces decision fatigue. Now, as a woman, if you're a man watching this probably applies to you too, but you're probably not a man, because why would you be here? But decision fatigue is for real. Okay, imagine the scene. You're working, you've got your business, you've got your job, you've got your kids, you've got your house, you've got your dog, you've got your car, you're trying to get your gym classes, you're running everybody about, you've got all the things. So when we are asked or when we attempt to make decisions on other things, we're going to make the easiest choice possible. Think about, have you ever seen videos or pictures of Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or Richard Branson? Every single picture you see of them, they are wearing the same clothes because they are reducing decision fatigue. They want to use their brain power for making the decisions that are going to move the needle in their life, like their business, their family life. They're not going to waste energy picking clothes because they just have a wardrobe full of the same things. Right? So the same applies to us. Now, I'm not suggesting that you just wear a hoodie every single day for your work, but this is why capsule wardrobes work, because you just have your things and that's what you do, right? This is a skill that I have not yet achieved in my 45 years of existence as a capsule wardrobe. We're working on it. And to be fair, because I'll never really go to my office or the gym. So quite frankly, I just wear gym wear most of the time. Now, the same applies to food. If you've had a shitty day, you're running about like a headless chicken, delivering all the things for other people, answering the questions, doing the things, being responsible, being an adult. By the time you get to 6 o'clock at night and you open the fridge door, if you've got a pile, you've got some vegetables there, you've got some uncooked chicken or some uncooked mince still in the packet, you're tired. Are you really going to say, oh, I'm just going to rustle up a lasagna? Or are you going to go, let's just have chicken nuggets. Let's just go on a takeaway. Let's just have a pizza, right? If you're tired, you've got no energy, the easy decision is the easy thing, right? And that's just human nature. Like, it doesn't make you a bad person for wanting to choose the easy option. This is what we do. So in order for us to make healthier food choices, it has to be the easy option for us, which is why meal prep and meal planning in advance is so, so powerful. We're making it as easy as possible for you. Now, as I said, I'm going to do some myth busting through this. So we've already got one of the don't have time to do it, but you actually do. We find the time. If you ever find yourself saying, I don't have time for that, I want you to go into your phone settings and find out how much time you're on a screen for. There you go. That's enough to humble you into believing that you actually do have time. The other one is, I don't know what I'm going to want to eat on Thursday, and that's fine. Because you're going to decide what you're going to eat on Thursday in advance, or Wednesday, or whatever in advance. Or you're going to make enough options so that by Thursday you do have options that you can choose from, but they're already made for you. Okay. Now, here's things that I have learned over the years, and these are things that work for me and my clients. So I don't teach things that I don't do. Do I teach things that I don't do? No, not really. No, do I? Right. So most people actually get the best results by being boring with their food. And what that means is, for me, it's 2 meals a day, Monday to Friday. I have the same thing every day of that week because I make it in advance. Now, that's to say that I don't make the same things week on week on week on week so that I get utterly sick of it. I change things up so that one week I'll have one thing and then the next week I'll have another thing. And it just means that for me, certainly, it's my breakfast and my lunch are the same things every single day for a full week, apart from the weekend. And my dinners will change. Now, it depends on how much I make or something, or if Archie, my son's away or whatever. Right, so let's take breakfast as an example. Breakfast is a powerful meal for you to have, especially during perimenopause. Now, I know I see it all the time, but fasting is so optimal for hormones, and for some people, fasting does work. But in my experience, the clients that come to me that have spent time fasting actually get better results from actually starting to eat breakfast again. So anyway, so breakfast for me is always, I get a big bowl. I throw some frozen spinach, I throw in some courgette, I throw in a bag of frozen fruit, I bung in half a tub of Greek yogurt, and I bung in 5 scoops of protein powder. I stir it up, then every single day I put some in the NutriBullet with some water and I blend it, and that's my breakfast. Happy days, it's easy. I make that tub of food while I'm waiting for a cup of tea to brew first thing on a Sunday morning. So at 8 o'clock or whatever time I get up, I go downstairs, put the kettle on, and I start prepping my breakfast. By the time the water's gone in the cup and the tea bag is brewed and I've put the milk in, I have finished that bowl. That's my breakfast. And that goes in the fridge. And that's 5 days worth of food. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Now, to make that not get boring, I change whatever the fruit is. So some weeks it'll be frozen mango, some weeks it's frozen berries, some weeks it's frozen strawberries, some weeks it's frozen cherries I've used. I don't like that one as much. Sometimes I use a watermelon, not frozen, weird. I chop up a watermelon, and that does me every day, every weekday of a year, because I've been doing that for ages. Now, you can do that with oats, which is just a variation of overnight oats. If you do it with oats, you can eat it. You don't have to blend it. You can eat it. There's a raft of things that you can do. Another one that you can do if you don't like the sound of that is you can boil up loads of eggs in advance. You can cook up some bacon medallions in advance. You could roast some tomatoes in advance, and then you've got a cooked breakfast waiting for you every morning. You just need to put it in the microwave for 40 seconds. So there is loads that you can do to make it easier for you in the morning. Right, lunchtime. Lunchtime for me also has to be a quick and easy, because I tend to work in the morning, then go to the gym, and then come back and have my lunch and then work again in the afternoon. So it's almost like a split shift. So what I've been doing recently is a frittata. So on a Sunday, I get an oven dish and I put hundreds of vegetables in it. So this week it's broccoli, spring onion and tomatoes. Last week it was broccoli and radishes and peppers, just whatever you've got in. And I mix up 5 eggs, salt and pepper, pour it in the bowl. This week I added a tub of cottage cheese to that actually. Pour it in the dish, put a bit of grated cheese over the top, bang it in the oven for half an hour. There you go. That's normally only lasts me 4 days for that one, to be fair. And then you've got, all you need to do to that is add an extra little bit of protein. So you can mix up 4 cans of tuna in advance, for example, with some light mayonnaise. Boom. There you've got an additional protein source. And add a little bit of salad or some vegetables or whatever. Now, if you like salads, debatable whether you want to have that in the winter, but why not have some steam fresh veggies in the freezer that you bung in the microwave for 2 minutes? You know, that's a really quick and easy lunch. I did an example a wee while ago and it was using cans of tuna. Now, I do my shopping in Aldi, and at Aldi they've stopped doing the cans, the pool cans. You've got to use a can opener, like some kind of savage. Anyway, and I was like, oh, I need to open a can of tuna. And do you know, the thought of opening a can of tuna, taking that time, so like, no, I'm not going to do that. And it just proved to me that that was a hard decision at that moment. Even though it's only going to take me like 60 seconds to open a can of tuna, it wasn't the easiest choice for me at that time. It would be easier for me to put some bread in the toaster and have some toast and butter. Nutritionally, not as good for me. I needed the protein. So it was just a really good example of, if I had taken that 5 minutes on the Sunday to open 4 cans or 5 cans of tuna, put it in a bowl, mixed it up with some mayonnaise, maybe some chopped onion or something, or some sweet corn, I would have had that instead of the toast, because I could just scooped out a couple of tablespoons. So it was just a really good insight as to how our brains work and how, when we are busy, we are going to make the easiest choice possible. And when you say to somebody, open a can of tuna, you're like, oh, that's a piece of piss, that's easy. But in real life, it wasn't the easiest choice. So there you go. That's some lunch ideas. The other things that you can do for lunch is make extra at dinner time. Just an extra couple of portions, and then you've got 2 lunches straight away. And it's the one thing that we often overlook. And it all boils, like I said this at the beginning, about, making it as easy as possible to succeed. If you're already making a meal for 4 people, 3 people, just add extra of what you're making, and then you've got more meals ready to just put in the microwave. So make as much as you can in one time block. So once I've had my tea on the Sunday and I've already made my breakfast, it depends on what I've got planned. So this might not happen till later on in the day. This might happen before lunch, but I'll get up, and by this point I always do my shopping on a Friday or a Saturday, and I get up and I do the thing. I make the things. So I always buy chicken, always, and often buy lean beef mince, right? So they're my 2 staples. Now in winter, I'll maybe buy a gammon joint, right? So look around at the utensils you've got. So I've got a slow cooker and I've got a pressure cooker combined into one. So there's loads that I can do. So for example, through the winter, I never do this in the summer, and I could. So through the winter, as an example, I will make a huge pot of vegetable and lentil soup. Huge. And I don't really have a recipe because I'm Scottish and it's kind of in our genetics, but a huge pot of lentil soup. And I'll maybe put the gammon in the pressure cooker or the slow cooker or the normal oven. You don't have to use any of these things. And then once the gammon is cooked, I'll chop it up into bits, put it in a bowl. There is my lunch. I've got a big bowl of lentil soup and I've got extra protein with the gammon in it. Just put it in the microwave, boom. You can do the same with chicken. Doesn't need to be gammon. You can unpack a chicken, collect all the meat. It's probably the worst job. And boom, put your chicken in your soup. There you've got chicken and veg and lentil soup. Have a bit of bread with it. It's not a little bit of bread with your soup's not going to be the end of the world. In summer, it's a little bit different. So in the summer, I have the frittata because I can have it cold, I can have it hot. Sometimes I'll make up a big bowl of Greek salad. So I'll just use lettuce, tomatoes, olives, onion, pepper, whatever, and sprinkle some oregano, some salt, some pepper through it. There you go. You can have that with everything because you can just grab a handful. Other hacks that my clients love are the semi-cooked baked potatoes that you get in the freezer aisle. I don't really eat a lot of baked potatoes, and I don't know why, because I really do enjoy a baked potato. Maybe I should introduce them back in again. Steam fresh veggies, I've mentioned. Amazing. The other big hack that I've got is where you can buy everything done as much for you. So if you're buying chicken breast, buy the chicken breast that's already chopped up into bits. If you're buying vegetables, buy the vegetables that are already chopped. You know, there's certain things that some people don't like doing. I don't mind chopping veg, but some people hate it. So that person should buy the pre-chopped veg to make it easier, or frozen veg that's already done. For me, I'm just trying to think what I will always buy instead of the harder work thing. Mashed direct beer batter chips. Oh my God, they're amazing. Instead of making my own chips, and I could make my own chips, but these beer battered ones are absolutely incredible. So yeah, try and do as much as you can in one block. So an example that I did last week, see if you go to somewhere like Home Bargains or B&M or even Aldi, and they've got those sachets, like the Schwartz or Coleman's, but they're a bit fancier than that now. But you can get fajita ones, you can get taco ones, you can get shawarma ones. So they're a really easy way. So I got some chicken, pre-chopped chicken breast. I chopped up 2 peppers, because I made quite a lot, and you put a bit of spray oil on the chicken and your vegetables. You can add whatever you want, I suppose. Stirred it up, added in the sachet, stirred it up, put it in the air fryer for 15 minutes. Boom, I've got a massive bowl of shawarma. So that this week has done me my dinner yesterday. I'm going to use some of it for my lunch today and some of it for my lunch tomorrow with my frittata. So boom, like if Archie was here, I would make that, and I would make maybe tacos or fajitas or I can't think of anything off the top of my head just now. Mongolian beef's another thing that he loves, and that can be done in the slow cooker. So it doesn't need to be overwhelming at all. It can seem overwhelming at first, but honestly, it's like everything else. Once you get into the habit, it's easy peasy. And it literally takes me 3.5 minutes now to do my meal plan, because I know what I'm having for breakfast, I know what I'm having for lunch, and it's just picking like 3 dinners tops, because there'll be one night that we have, you know, freezer food. We'll maybe have, you know, breaded chicken, some salad, some vegetables. So that's sorted already. The way Saturday night we would normally have a pizza in our fancy Ninja pizza oven. So it doesn't need to be this all-encompassing task that we've kind of made up in our head that's overwhelming and hard. So yes, it doesn't need to be hard. But I would urge you all to get in the habit of doing it, because it saves so much time in the long run. Saves so much energy, just so much decision-making time that we can use elsewhere with the things that really matter. So yeah, another top tip for you is most people, I think the number's 12, 13, but most families certainly have a rotation of about 12 or 13 main meals that they eat regularly. So you can easily incorporate them into your meal plan. So I would just write down all the things that you currently make, and is there a way of making them healthier? So for example, like a big cheesy lasagna probably isn't great calorie-wise, but can you use reduced fat cheddar? Can you use reduced fat mince? Can you add more vegetables in it? Can you add quark to the mix? You know, can you blitz up some cottage cheese and add that to the sauce so it's higher protein? Look at your another mince dish, spag bol or chili. Add more veg into it. Buy reduced fat mince. Add more tomatoes. There's lots of different things that you can do to make the meals that you're already having slightly less calorific, slightly more protein, slightly more fruit and veg. It doesn't have to be ripping up everything and starting again. Another good example, if you've got kids, is making burgers in advance. You know, it literally takes, the worst thing about it is putting your hand in the meat. Like, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. I actually wear gloves, and we use gloves and knife and fork when I'm chopping up chicken. But, you know, there's so much that you can do in advance if you just like get clever with it. And there's things that, you know, Archie helps me make the soup. He can help chop the veg, loads of different things. So yeah, get into the habit. The one way to make it easier to bed in gently is just start with 1 or 2 meals a week. So if you find yourself running out of time in the mornings so that you don't eat something, then maybe try prepping breakfast in advance for yourself. If you find yourself having dinners that are not particularly great for you, then maybe look at dinners as a priority. Just start with 1-2 meals a day, and make it as quick as possible. So there's loads more tips, and if you want to go to Amazon and buy the Happy Hormone Handbook, which is written by me, there is more meal prep hacks in there. But yeah, organization, planning in advance, and honestly, it takes me less than, well, this week it took less than an hour, but it's only because I'm here myself. Archie's away with my mum and dad, so that's why it didn't take me very long. Yeah, make it easy and you will succeed. Make it hard and you won't. And just try and build it in as part of your routine. Okay, I hope this has helped somebody today. Let me know your hacks as well. It's always useful to share. And I will speak to you in the next one. I'll put the link for the Happy Hormone Handbook below so you can have a wee nosy. But yeah, take care, be safe out there. Love yous. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye. And just like that, we have spiced up another episode of Piss Off Perimenopause and the musings of a bullshit queenager. Massive shout out and a huge thank you for hanging out with me today. I really hope you've been entertained. And remember, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, keep those heels high and standards higher. Remember, it's all about glowing, growing, and downright owning it. So catch you on the flip side, and don't forget to click the link in the show notes to get your freebie.